Greetings, family. Earlier today, I was outside playing in the snow, and I realized storms will try and define you by what they take away. Yeah, I said that. Because while I was out there, I was out in the middle of the field, walking up and down the roads, kind of just enjoying the peace and quiet. And that's when it came to me about how we are sometimes alone out there. And when storms come along in our life, they usually try and hit us really hard and make us feel like we are utterly alone. And they give you that depression by making you feel on what they took away from you. Hear me clearly, though. You're not what you lost. You know, I lost my dream house in a fire. I didn't actually lose the dream house. The house was on the dream land. That's actually what I lost. Because every time I'd go back to that land, I would be reminded constantly of how bad the experience was. And I had listened to somebody in my life at that point that said, you need to just get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Not realizing that if I were to focus on rebuilding on that site, I could grow. And so I basically threw away my dreamland because somebody else told me to. But I've also lost businesses. I've had to fire clients because of the fact that, well, we just don't see eye to eye. I've lost people I loved. But all of those losses, they didn't define me. They refined me. They made me sharper. They made me stronger. They made me bolder. They made me more intellectual. They made me more willing to try and actually want to help people. See, life will shake you. Loss will shake you. But it doesn't erase you. You can withstand the storm because your worth isn't tied to what's left. When you see these videos of tornadoes ripping through the Midwest, and you see how people's houses are just shredded by the pure power of God's finger, just saying, you know what? Nope, 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 nope. And you see the people thrown and just devastated. What do you see? You see people grouping together, holding each other, rebuilding. Because they are winners. It isn't about replacing what they lost. It's about transforming into a legacy. That pain becomes purpose when you decide to rise. Okay? When you decide to try and not focus on what you're missing, but focus entirely on what you made through it. That you actually survived the issues. That you survived the drug addiction. You survived going to jail. You survived the deadly disease. You just survived the car accident. You survived the house fire. You just survived walking in the woods in the middle of the winter without a coat on. You can ask my son about that. He's notorious for walking outside in the middle of winter without a coat on. Anyways, but it's that winning part. I'm going to repeat it. Winning isn't about replacing what you lost. It's about transforming it into a legacy. Turn that pain into a purpose when you decide to rise. Think of a coffee cup. How about a water cup instead? Because I got yelled at for drinking coffee too late last night. because I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning working on a course that I'm going to be selling soon in my school account. But anyways, I got yelled at for drinking coffee, and that's the thing. So we're going to try and use this cup here, this water cup. When it's shaken, I've got a lid on it so it's not going to spill. I was on a TikTok live earlier and I shook it all over the place talking about this. I got water all over the place. But when this coffee cup is shaken, or this water cup is shaken, what spills out? Anger? Hatred? Or love? Peace? Tranquility? Or dreams? Thank you, darling.
You know, I didn't learn from last year. Remember how I accidentally touched the stove burn?
Yeah.
I touched it again.
And did you burn yourself?
And then I went back for seconds to see if it was hot.
Oh, well.
It was not hot at all.
Okay, well.
So I caught the fire on fire.
That's good.
And then I started playing with the fire.
That's good.
And then I almost caught myself on fire.
Well, that's not good. Don't do that.
And then I touched the wood stove again.
All right, well, thank you for lighting the wood stove.
Where's my Pepsi, Obet? You want to go get drink without me?
All right, anyways, as we were saying, the
Go get me Pepsi.
water.
I need mine.
That's not. That's mom.
Who wants to go?
This is turning into a party.
RC and Pepsi without me? Come on.
What spills out? So if you fill this cup with hatred and anger, that's what's going to spill out.
Can I have
If you
this?
fill this cup,
Thanks.
I was going to, yeah. If you fill this cup with love and peace and joy, that's what will spill out when life shakes you. If you fill it with resilience, that's what will pour out when life hits. See, it really doesn't matter whether the cup is half full or half empty. It matters on what you put in the cup. So, I'd like you to try and drop a word in the comments that describe what you've gained from a loss. Please. It can be cryptic. You don't have to try and tell anything, but just put something in there that tells us that you gained something from a loss and you grew from it. And that's something I challenge you. That whatever loss you faced, just write that one lesson that it gave you. Because that lesson is your power. You're not what you lost. You are what you learned and what you lived through and what you're becoming. Because I want you to say it with me. Withstand the storm. Own your story. And win with scars as maps to your future. Thank you.